Today we are looking at the Eart GW-1 headless guitar. It's a Chinese manufacturer. You can buy these guitars from Amazon, but they do also have their own homepage. And when I was checking, it was cheaper on their own homepage. So I bought it from their homepage. And despite being cheaper, they also have 4 distribution centers. One is in the UK, and I was ordering from Germany. And as European, you will know that the UK is not part of the EU anymore. So I was checking if there are customs, but no, there are no customs or tolls that have to be paid. And actually, I was ordering it on Friday, I think, and it arrived on Monday. I was astonished that they were this quick with the delivery. So yeah, I would suggest buy it from their website. This guitar consists of a roasted ash body with burled maple veneer. It has a 5-piece roasted maple neck with pedauque. And the neck profile is a compound U to C shape. The fingerboard material is Indian rosewood. Just a quick side note, this is the first guitar I own with a tremolo bridge. I do not have experience with that. And today we will compare it to the real thing, to the Strandberg original. So installed is a 3-way toggle switch, some classic knobs, nothing special on them, and the special thing to tune the guitar, because you will not be able to tune it with the normal tuning packs installed on there. And then there's the lock locking down the jam bridge. And this thing is a bit special, and also you can look at the screw. Yeah, sometimes it just locks somewhere in place, or it's just too loose or gets too loose, and then the lock gets stuck somewhere else. From the side you can see that there's not a real veneer on top, but there's like a thin layer of paint. And just for comparison, this is my RGD, and this has a veneer top, and you can see that there's like a thin layer of wood, but I'm actually not even mad about it. It looks great. So this is the neck profile of the Strandberg. It's a bit special. It's the Endure neck profile. Some people like it, some people hate it, and the tuning packs are way better. They are more spaced and have more grip. Just for comparison, the neck of the Eart. And now we're gonna compare the weight, because this is one big thing. We have 2.8 kilograms for the Eart. It's quite heavy for a headless guitar. Strandberg 2.1 kilograms. It's basically nothing, it's a 7-string. And just for comparison, a normal guitar, it's a pretty lightweight guitar for a normal guitar, also 2.9 kilograms. First of all, I want to talk about the thing that we all will have to do. It's tuning. You will be unable to tune this thing without the extension they deliver. And you can see that I have to turn really hard to make anything happen, because you can't really grab this. Even the extension is really hard to grab. And also I got the impression that you can't really fine tune the guitar. The thread of the screw isn't as fine as in the Strandberg, and that makes it really, really difficult. Now I wanted to show you how to install the jam. There's a screw on the side with which you can set the tension. But before I was able to show that to you, I had issues getting this thing on, because it needs a lot of pressure to put it on. As I was discovering there, because it wasn't really inside, so I had to push really, really hard. At one point I wanted to adjust the height of the pickups, because when I was looking at the guitar, I was like, oh, they're pretty deep inside. And this does affect the sound pretty much, actually. So you should always check your string height. And at one point I just realized that they're rattling, and I had to screw them back in again, because this will not work. There's no spring underneath that keeps the tension. You would just unmount them when you try to set the height. Setting the intonation is a topic on itself. There's a screw on the side of the bridge. You have to loosen the screw, and then you can move each saddle individually. But that also means that when changing the intonation of a single string, you might also change or move the saddle of another string. You can circumvent that by not loosening the tension of the strings that you do not intend to intonate. Be aware that the saddle might move when you start to tune the string again. So the guitar is not neck heavy, but it is heavy. Compared to a Strandberg, which is really, really light. You can even see it, but yeah, no problem whatsoever.
Show me, 'cause I have to tell a little story of how we once changed the world. We were heroes back in time, 'cause we ended the world's biggest crime. No more crying, no more death.
What do I like and what do I dislike on this guitar? First of all, I like the shape, but that's the reason why I bought it. So yeah, at least this part of it looks like a copy of the original Strandberg, but despite of that, these two are not really comparable, and I think it would be quite concerning if they would be comparable, concerning the price difference. The neck is okay, it's pretty thin, but it doesn't feel as nice as on my Ibanez guitars, for example. I don't know really why, but it's kind of similar, but still different. I like the way that they put the strings in over here. Playing wise, it's okay. It's pretty heavy. It's really pretty heavy, especially considering that this is a headless guitar. You got all the weight down here, and you can always feel that. Yeah, but there's some issues. One thing that I really don't understand is why they didn't put strings down there, so you can't adjust the height of the pickups. This is quite weird. And the bridge is a real issue. Maybe you will have heard it in the song I just played. Sometimes it just went out of tune, and I think I noticed the reason why this is. I locked the bridge, so in theory there shouldn't be any change, but despite it being really hard to tune anyway. Okay, it's kind of in tune now, so I'm playing like this. It stays kind of in tune, but once you touch the bridge just slightly, you go out of tune. Because even if it's locked, you can detune it. And this is something that will happen quite often if you're palm muting, especially because you will always hit this thing that is keeping this everything in place. And yeah, that doesn't work really well. Another issue is like the tuning mechanism itself is really bad. There was a part when I was tuning my Strandberg, and it was really easy. I mean, I was really having to change the tune because it's a 7th string and it was standard E on top of the A string, and I had to change from the E to a D. So it was a pretty long way, and still it was so much easier to tune it. And it's also easier to fine tune anything. And every time I turn something on this thing, it just goes to a complete different ballpark. It's crazy. And yeah, and also it's hard to turn because you don't have lots of grip on this thing. That's a real difference to a real Strandberg. I think the pickups are okay themselves, but tuning stability is a real issue. This whole bridge is a real issue, and I'm still not sure if I will keep this guitar for that reason, because I don't know if I will be able to record songs with this thing. Yeah, but the thing why I bought it mainly in the first place is because I can sit with it like this and then can play for really long if I want to for recording sessions. It's the Eart GW-1. Okay, so I hope you liked that video. Do not subscribe unless you like that video in the end, because this channel is not meant to be guitar videos, it's more like a music channel. And also be sure, if you like that song, to follow me on Spotify or wherever you're streaming music. Yeah, maybe buy it on Bandcamp or follow my BandLab or my social media stuff. If I will keep this guitar, I will make another video how I change things up. I will change pickups, strap locks, and probably will install a push-pull. So I will be able to have a single coil pickup in there, single coil selection. Yeah.